We all think we've got the story on sugar figured out, right? It's about calories, weight gain, maybe some cavities, but that's not even half the story. The real action, the stuff that really matters, is happening deep inside every single one of your cells. It's a story about signals, where different kinds of sweeteners are literally giving commands to your cellular power plants.
And that brings us to the real kicker, this central question we're going to tackle. What if those healthy choices you're making, the sugar substitutes you trust, are actually, secretly, doing some serious damage to your heart? We're going to dig into the science and find out what's really going on.
All right, to really understand this, we need to zoom in and meet the hero of our story, the mitochondrion. Now, don't just think of these as little energy factories. They're way more important than that. They are the command and control centers for the health of your entire body. I mean, just try to wrap your head around the scale of this for a second. These tiny little organelles generate something like 90% of all the energy your body needs to function. It's not an exaggeration to say their health is your health. When your mitochondria are humming along, you feel amazing. When they're struggling, well, everything starts to fall apart.
And that leads us straight to a crisis of our modern world, something called metabolic inflexibility. See, healthy mitochondria are brilliant at switching fuels. They'll burn fat for steady energy, then, boom, switch to sugar when you need a quick burst. But our diets are crippling them. They're losing that ability, and that's a root cause of things like chronic fatigue and insulin resistance.
So, let's talk about the bad guys. We have this habit of lumping all sugars into one category, but that is a massive mistake. From your body's perspective, glucose and fructose are like night and day. One is a clean, regulated fuel. The other, well, it's a metabolic saboteur. Okay, so here's the absolute critical difference. Your body has this incredibly sophisticated system for handling glucose. Insulin acts like a key, letting just the right amount into your cells. It's managed. Fructose, on the other hand, is a ghost in the machine. It sneaks right past all those checkpoints and floods directly into your liver, where it just runs wild with zero regulation. And once it's there, it kicks off this devastating three-step chain reaction. First, your liver burns through its own energy, its ATP, just trying to deal with the fructose onslaught. Second, that energy crash creates a huge spike in uric acid, which is basically like pouring acid rain on your cells. And the final blow? That uric acid literally shuts down the mitochondria, forcing your poor liver to turn all that fructose directly into fat. This is how you get fatty liver disease.
So the answer seems simple, right? Just avoid fructose. And that's exactly why so many of us switch to those zero-calorie sweeteners, like sugar alcohols. But this is where the story takes a sharp and really shocking turn, all thanks to some brand new science. I mean, they're in everything now, aren't they? Keto snacks, sugar-free drinks, healthy desserts. But cutting-edge research from just this past year has completely flipped what we thought we knew about their safety. It's revealing a hidden danger that, honestly, nobody saw coming.
Let's just look at the hard data. Erythritol, the superstar of the keto world, turns out it makes your blood platelets sticky and hyperreactive, basically getting your blood ready to form clots. And xylitol, the one we all thought was great for our teeth, it's now been strongly linked to a higher risk of heart attack and stroke. The bottom line here is these things, these polyols, are not just passing through your body. They have very real, very powerful biological effects. And get this number, 1,000 times. That's not a typo. Just one serving of a product sweetened with this stuff can spike the levels in your blood 1,000-fold. That one little snacker drink can put your body into a pro-clotting state for hours. That is a direct, measurable risk.
And the way it works is this terrifying 1-2 punch. So while fructose was busy wrecking your liver mitochondria, these polyols are attacking your cardiovascular system. They don't just make your blood more likely to clot, they also damage your body's own natural ability to break down any clots that do form. It's a perfect storm for a major cardiac event.
Okay, I know that was a lot of bad news, but it is not all doom and gloom, I promise. It's time to pivot, because it turns out not all of these unconventional sugars are bad. In fact, there's a whole class of rare sugars that are like helpful imposters. They give you sweetness while actually helping your metabolism.
First up is allulose, and this stuff is a real game changer. It's a rare sugar, tastes sweet, but has pretty much 0 calories and no impact on blood sugar. But here's its superpower. It actually stimulates a hormone called GLP-1, which is the same hormone that those new blockbuster weight loss drugs target. It helps you feel full and controls your appetite. How cool is that?
Then there's trehalose. This is a sugar found in things like mushrooms, and its job is just incredible. It flips the switch on a process called autophagy, which is basically your body's cellular cleanup crew. It helps your cells go in, find old, broken-down mitochondria, and recycle them. It's essential for longevity.
And finally, let's talk about D-mannose. You might have heard of it for urinary tract health, but new science shows it does something way more profound. It helps reprogram your immune system, calming down inflammation and autoimmunity, all while leaving your blood sugar completely alone.
So, we know what to avoid and we know what to embrace. The big question is, how do we put all of this together into a real plan? Well, that brings us to an actionable protocol to reset your mitochondria and get that cellular power back online.
Think of it like renovating a house. There are two parts. First, you have to clean out all the old, broken junk. That's called mitophagy, and it's powered by things like intermittent fasting and a compound called Urolithin A, which our gut makes from pomegranates and walnuts. Then you build the new stuff. That's biogenesis, and it's fired up by nutrients like PQQ, found in kiwi, and by Zone 2 exercise. That's just brisk walking where you can still hold a conversation. So it all boils down to this really simple 4-step protocol. Step 1, eliminate the saboteurs. Get the fructose and those risky sweeteners out. Step 2, incorporate the healers, like allulose or pure monk fruit. Step 3, stimulate new growth with that consistent Zone 2 cardio. And Step 4, support the whole system with a diet packed with things like omega-3s and colorful veggies.
And I want to leave you with this really powerful idea from the source material. This isn't just wishful thinking. Improving your cellular energy isn't some abstract concept. It is a real, measurable, and, most importantly, an actionable process that you are in control of.
So as we wrap this up, the question really changes, doesn't it? It's not just about how much sugar anymore. It's about which sugar. Now that you know some sweeteners can be saboteurs and others can actually be healers, which signals are you going to choose to send to your cells? The power is literally in your hands.